Hi and welcome to Weddlink's Wedding DIY. I'm your DIY guru Brooke, and on today's episode I'm going to show you how to turn an old hat box into a beautiful card box for your wedding. DIY, what you're going to need is a hat box. Now you can use any box that you like if you don't have a hat box. A fabric that is a thick and coarse fabric and that will cover any pattern that you have already on the box. An accented fabric, a ribbon, a pen, a paintbrush, an X-Acto knife or a Stanley knife, some fabric glue and a pair of scissors. This week's DIY difficulty level is a 3 out of 5. To get started, what you're going to do is take your accented fabric and you want to make sure it is long enough and wide enough to fit over the top of your lid with a little bit of an overhang. Once you've cut that, we're going to take our lid off and make sure our lid fits in the middle of our pattern. You're going to take your fabric, just leave it underneath. You're going to get your fabric glue. You're going to spread the fabric glue on. You're just going to take your paintbrush and paint it along the lid, making sure you get it everywhere. Make sure you get it all the way out to the edge as well. All right. Good. Now I'm going to take my fabric, I'm going to place it over the top of my lid. Once it's on, go ahead and press it out to make sure you get rid of any of the air bubbles. We're going to do basically the same thing with the side panel, and we're going to be using our fabric that is of that solid color. A nice easy way to measure the length of your box that you have is roll your fabric out on your table, and then with the bottom of your box you're going to place it along there and you're just going to fold up the sides of your fabric. If you have any overlays from where it joins up, you can go ahead and cut that off. You want to leave about an inch or two gap from this point of the fabric to the other end to allow for your overlay. Alright, take your fabric away because we're about to put the glue on. Lovely. This one's going to be a little bit tricky obviously because it's a round shape, so just be careful and try not to get the glue everywhere. When you put in the glue, make sure you get the ends, especially with this one, and also down at the base. Now the fabric that I chose happened to be not thick enough, so I've had to double it over. So if you have to double over your fabric, make sure that your crease is nicely ironed and you're going to use that at the bottom, okay? So what you're going to do is find a spot at the bottom, pressing it down a little bit. Take one end of your fabric, following up the line, and press it on. Pressing our fabric onto the box as you go around, and you're going to roll your box along the fabric. This is the easiest way to make sure your join lines up with the bottom of the box. Okay, we're almost there at the end. Make sure you fold it over and you iron it. This is going to leave a really nice finish and it's going to look very clean. You're going to fold it over, press it down. Now you're going to need to re-glue this little bit here as well. You do that by simply folding this fabric back and making the line of glue along the folded seam and then just fold it over. Press down nice and firmly. You'll notice that I have excess fabric here. This is going to be needed as we're going to fold it underneath. So make sure again, you leave yourself a bit of gap. Put this aside. I have glue all over my hands, so I'm just going to quickly wash my hands. Ooh. Now my hands are clean, we're going to go into the next step. Take your lid, fold it over. We're going to now glue the outside of our rim, then we're going to fold it in. So gluing here and also on the inside as well, okay? Take your scissors and you're going to cut along the slit and leaving just a little gap before you get to the box. All right, almost there. Okay, last one. Whoops, glue on me. Great. With these panels, what you're going to do is pull them up and fold them down. And you're going to do that with each one individually as you go the whole way around the lid. Pick it up and pull it down. You want to be quite firm with these, and this will help keep everything nice and neat. It doesn't have to be too neat, but you want to make it as smooth as you can because the ribbon is going to be covering all of this anyway. Depending on what fabric you use, you might find that some of the sides might start to come up. An easy way to fix that is by taking your paintbrush and just applying more glue on there and then pressing it down. You're going to take the base of your box and fold down the rest of the fabric. Great. Like I said, with your lid, depending on what fabric you have and how thick it is, you can always use a hot glue gun on the inside. Today I'm just going to use my normal glue that I have, and you're going to repeat the same process that you did with your lid, but for the inside of your box. Looks really nice. We've finished our base. This is going to need to dry overnight or for quite a while just to make sure the fabric is completely set and dried. With our lid, we're going to turn this baby back over, and now we're going to put the ribbon around the outside. I've chosen a blue ribbon. You can choose whatever color that you like. Choose a ribbon that is the same height as your lid. This is just perfect and matches really nicely. So that's why I chose this ribbon. You're going to make sure that you have the right length just by taking it all the way around. It's a nice easy way to measure it. And again, like we did with the base of our box, you're going to have a little excess tab because we're going to cut it and fold it underneath. You're going to glue the first side down just by putting a little bit of glue there. Smoothing it the whole way down. And you're going to start by putting your ribbon on and just repeating that the whole way around our lid. Like I said, it can get a bit messy. I'm at my last little bit. Fold that bit of your ribbon over, give it a good press. Apply the last bit of your glue. And good. Lovely. A nice way to keep your fabric and your ribbon secured is if you have a clothes peg or even a paper clip, and that'll keep it nice and secure whilst the glue dries. We're now going to go and make our delivery slit template. With my pen, you're going to go and make a rectangle that is going to accommodate most of your letters, about 2 inches wide and about 6 inches long. And you want to put it in roughly about the center of your box. Take your X-Acto knife and you're going to cut it out, but you're going to be quite careful because you don't want to tear the fabric. Just be gentle with it. Now that the slit of our lid has been removed, what you're going to do is you're going to insert your X-Acto knife at roughly about this point, and you're going to draw a line all the way down the center of it to meet the other end. And if your X-Acto knife doesn't cut the fabric, you can always use your scissors. You're going to cut along, and at the end you're going to stop, and then you're going to cut a little V into each of the ends. Now that you've done that, take your glue and you're going to press glue along the outside of the slit, fold the fabric over. I've applied some paper clips in the inside of the lid just to hold the fabric there whilst it's gluing because it's only a small length. Once that's dried, you put the lid on top of the box and then you're done. Perfect. So there you have it, your very own card box that you recycled out of a hat box. If you like what we did today, please go ahead and let us know by pressing that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. And some exciting news, please go ahead and check out our brand new website. Lots of exciting things to come. I'll see you next week, and this is Weddlink's Wedding DIY.